What up guys, Gozen here for Anime Uproar and welcome to another Attack on Titan video. Before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to the Attack on Titan Amino app. They reached out to us and told us that they love our content and the awesome community we've established here, and they invited us to check out their app. It is an active AOT fan community, and they often have over 500 fans online at the same time. The app also has some of the best and funniest AOT fan art I've ever seen. We just registered a profile so you can download the app for free and follow us there, link in the description. We also set up a poll for which AOT video we should make next, so you can vote and help us decide right there on the AOT Amino app. Thanks again to Attack on Titan Amino for sponsoring and supporting Anime Uproar. Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the most iconic and physically powerful Titan. The Titan that in many ways started it all. Today we are going to be going over everything you need to know about the Colossal Titan, also referred to as the Colossus Titan, and its known possessors. Anyways, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe because we have many Attack on Titan videos on this channel already and many more on the way. As always, there will be crazy, mind-blowing, sanity-imploding manga spoilers, so proceed with extreme caution. Now if you're psyched and ready to go, smash that like button, and let's do this. The power of the Colossal Titan is first possessed by Bertolt, who is an Eldian warrior for the Marleyan government, along with Reiner and Annie. Together they have been sent to the island of Paradis to infiltrate the walls and bring back the coordinate or founding Titan power that lies in Eren, our protagonist. Coincidentally, the tallest Titan is at first possessed by the tallest shifter, although the Colossal Titan's height is not necessarily correlated to the human shifter's height. Spoiler alert, Armin inherits the power from Bertolt, and we'll explain how that happens later. But the point is, the Colossal Titan will most likely remain 60 meters tall even though it's in the possession of one of the shortest characters in Attack on Titan. Bertolt was 6'3" or 192 centimeters tall. He weighed 179 pounds or 81 kilograms, and his birthday was December 30th. In a popularity poll, Bertolt was voted the 14th most popular character, while the Colossal Titan was voted the #1 most popular Titan. According to the official Attack on Titan guidebook, Bertolt's statistics were as follows. He scored a 9 out of 10 in combat, a 4 out of 10 in initiative, a 6 out of 10 in wits, a 9 out of 10 in teamwork, and a 2 out of 10 in aggressiveness. While the Colossal Titan statistics were extremely impressive in every area except speed. It scored an off the charts 11 out of 10 in power, a 3 out of 10 in speed, an off the charts 11 out of 10 in size, and a 10 out of 10 in elusiveness, and another 10 out of 10 in threat. Reiner before said that Bertolt should be the most powerful Titan, but he's not because he does not use it to its full potential. We should keep this in mind when considering the fact that Armin is the current Colossal Titan, and it is possible that he'll be able to use it better than Bertolt did. Armin scored a 2 out of 10 in combat, a 6 out of 10 in initiative, a 10 out of 10 in wits, an 8 out of 10 in teamwork, and a 10 out of 10 in judgment. Considering that his new Titan power should make up for his weak combat skills, he can potentially be a much more formidable Colossal Titan than Bertolt ever was. Now let's look at Bertolt before moving on to the Colossal Titan's unique abilities. Ironically, Bertolt, the possessor of the insanely destructive and awe-inspiring Colossal Titan, was a shy and quiet person. He lacked confidence and usually went along with Reiner's plans, which is why Eren later referred to him as a lackey. Back on the continent, Bertolt was recruited as a Marleyan warrior cadet before Reiner because of his superior shooting skills. If you want to know more about what happened in Marley, you can check out our video about Reiner and the Armored Titan, where we go into it in much more detail. Eventually, Bertolt was chosen to inherit the Colossal Titan power from the Marleyan government, and together with his fellow warriors, he went to infiltrate the walls on the island. He was the one that started it all. He appeared first and broke through the south gate of Wall Maria with one kick. For the first time since the walls were built, Wall Maria was breached, which allowed Titans to move in and kill countless amounts of people, including Carla Jaeger, Eren's mother. The Colossal Titan completely shattered everyone's sense of reality. Before this moment, most people thought that no Titan could breach the walls, and that no Titan could be anywhere close to the wall's 50-meter height, let alone that a Titan could be 10 meters taller than it. But then, an unprecedented 60-meter class Titan pops his head over the top of the wall to everyone's shock. It kicks through the gate, and despite its enormous body, completely disappears just as quickly as it showed up. As far as villain introductions go, this has to be one of the best ones I've ever seen. The Colossal Titan changes everything. Bertolt then pretends to be a refugee. along with Reiner and Annie, and they spend time in a refugee camp until they are old enough to enroll in the training corps. It was during this time that Bertolt and Reiner developed relationships with the other members of the 104th Training Corps. Bertolt spoke of having drinks with Connie when they are old men, and the 104th Training Corps used Bertolt's strange sleeping positions to try and predict the weather. In the 104th Training Corps, Bertolt shows that he has a lot of potential and is very skilled, but as instructor Keith notes, he lacks confidence and doesn't take action on his own, but lets others dictate what he does. Because of this, he believes that Bertolt will be the first to perish if an operation goes sideways, and of course we know now that this was foreshadowing. Bertolt was in fact the first Titan shifter in the 104th Training Corps to die in battle. Nevertheless, because of his flawless skills, he still graduated with the third highest score in the class. The Training Corps members came to trust Reiner and Bertolt during their time spent together. Then, in 850, 5 years after the initial breach of Wall Maria, Bertolt transforms to the Colossal Titan yet again and breaches Wall Rose, which leads to the Battle of Tross district. Eren tries to fight him, but he is pushed back and blinded by the smoke he emits. And just like last time, the Colossal Titan suddenly evaporates into nothing, leaving only slowly dispersing smoke. That is the insanely frightening thing about the Colossal Titan, and why he makes such a good antagonist. Despite his gigantic size, you never know when he might show up. There is no way to prepare. He can pop up anytime, cause colossal damage, and disappear in the blink of an eye. And this is exactly what he does. During the Battle of Tross District, Bertolt is one of the first people to see Eren emerge from the Attack Titan's body, and it is at this point that Bertolt and Reiner realize that they need to bring Eren and the Attack Titan's power back to Marley, although they are not yet sure if he has the coordinate power inside of him. Eren is able to plug the new hole using his Titan form, but in the meantime Marco overhears a secret conversation between Reiner and Bertolt. Bertolt, along with Reiner and Annie, is involved in the indirect murder of Marco. They steal his maneuvering gear and leave him stranded to be eaten by a Titan. Bertolt does shed tears over Marco's death, showing that he did consider him a friend and his betrayal pains him. However, at the same time, it is clear that he'll do whatever he has to do to carry out his mission for the Marleyan government. As some of you may know who watched my Reiner and the Armored Titan Explained video, Reiner, in order to deal with the guilt he felt over betraying his 104th Training Corps friends, he created an alternative personality, that of a soldier who defends the wall and fights to protect humanity within the walls. It is Bertolt who reminds him that he is a warrior and tries to help him deal with his mental instability. At Utgard Castle, where Reiner saves Connie, Bertolt makes an odd comment that Reiner has the bad habit of risking himself for others. What he means is that he should not be risking his life to save one of the island-dwelling Eldians, who are all seen as evil by the people of Marley. In fact, Bertolt is the only one among the warriors in the Training Corps that doesn't risk his life to save any 104th Training Corps members. Both Annie and Reiner save Connie, albeit Reiner thinks he's somebody else, but it still illustrates how Bertolt seems to be the one most committed to the cause and following the orders of the Marleyan government. It was in fact Reiner's second thoughts that caused his split personality to develop. At Utgard Castle, both Reiner and Bertolt reaffirm their promise to survive and get home, and of course they're referring to the internment zone in Marley. Later, when they make it back to the wall, Reiner can't take the stress anymore, and during a mental breakdown tells Eren that he's the Armored Titan and that Bertolt is the Colossal Titan and that he should come with them. Reiner shows Eren his injured arm as it visibly heals, and Bertolt is shocked. Bertolt asks Reiner if they are revealing themselves now, again showing that he cannot make his own decisions in times of crisis. Because he hesitates, Mikasa almost kills them, but Bertolt manages to transform into a partial Titan. He fights off soldiers, captures Ymir and a random soldier in his mouth so he can use his vertical maneuvering gear later, and then proceeds to release intense steam that prevents any soldiers from getting close to him. When Reiner gives him the signal, Bertolt falls off the wall and lands on the Armored Titan and Eren's Attack Titan, causing an explosion that allows them to escape with both an injured Ymir and Eren. During their attempted escape, a lot of important information is revealed about Bertolt. Reiner reveals that he loves Annie. Bertolt also reveals to Eren that he felt sorry for him when he told him about his mother's death, which Bertolt indirectly caused. Bertolt also breaks into tears when the Training Corps members catch up and begin to question him. He says that he does not want to kill anyone, but someone has to do it. Eventually, Armin takes advantage of Bertolt's feelings for Annie to distract him. He tells him how Annie is being tortured, even though we know that she's still hanging out in the crystal, and this infuriates Bertolt and gives Erwin the opening he needs to rescue Eren. Eventually Eren's coordinate powers activate because he comes into contact with the Smiling Titan. If you want to know how this Titan activates his power, be sure to check out our Smiling Titan Explained video. Anyways, the two warriors realize that they have to capture Eren, but Eren uses the power of the coordinate to make the Titans attack the two of them. Reiner cannot protect Bertolt because there are too many of the Titans attacking them. If you're like me, then you are thinking at this point, why doesn't Bertolt just turn into the Colossal Titan and stomp out his enemies? Well, it seems like the Colossal Titan, because it's so big and takes up so much energy, requires more rest time before a second transformation can happen. Annie could transform twice no problem after a very short period of time, but her Titan is even smaller than Reiner's and Eren's. It seems that because Bertolt's Titan form is so colossal, he needs more downtime between transformations. Some people have speculated that he has to wait over a day before he can transform again. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Lucky for Reiner, especially Bertolt, Ymir of all people comes to their rescue in her Titan form and saves them. Afterwards, Bertolt is touched that Ymir rescued them and that she offered to come back with them so they won't be punished for coming back empty-handed. Ymir knows that they're going to kill her in Marley in order to pass on the Jaw Titan power, but she wants to help Bertolt and Reiner anyways and thank them for rescuing her from the endless nightmare of her mindless Titan form. Again, Bertolt is on the verge of tears. After they deliver Ymir to Marley and come back to Paradis, Bertolt and Reiner want to prioritize Annie's rescue while Zeke, the Beast Titan, says that they have to prioritize the capture of Eren and the coordinate. Reiner feels so strong about trying to rescue Annie that he battles the Beast Titan in his Armored Titan form. He loses as Bertolt looks on. This again shows Bertolt's lack of aggressiveness and his loyalty to Marley. Even though Reiner is fighting to help save the girl Bertolt loves, Bertolt himself is not willing to transform and fight, even though together they would have a much better chance of defeating Zeke. At the final battle of Shiganshina, while Reiner is fighting the Survey Corps, he sends a signal for the Beast Titan to launch a barrel with Bertolt in it. The plan is for him to transform into the Colossal Titan and create an explosion that crushes the enemy forces, but Bertolt doesn't do it when he sees that Reiner is sticking out of his Titan. He really does care about Reiner and wants to avoid hurting him. After telling Reiner to prepare for the explosion and a failed negotiation attempt by Armin, Bertolt transforms, causing an explosion that destroys the surrounding area and kills many soldiers. Eventually, Armin comes up with a plan to defeat Bertolt. He distracts Bertolt so that Eren can sneak up behind him and cut him out of the Colossal Titan, but Armin is severely burned in the process due to the Colossal Titan's ability to release extremely hot steam. After fighting with Mikasa over who should get the Titan Serum and become the next Colossal Titan, Erwin or Armin, Levi decides to give it to Armin, mainly because he wanted Erwin to die and finally be released from this hell on Earth. So Armin's mindless Titan eats Bertolt, who in his final moments calls out for Reiner and Annie. So that's the tragic end of Bertolt's story. And now Armin has the power, and I'm excited to see him use it in the future. We haven't actually seen him in Titan form except when Zeke was imagining two Titans at the shore of Paradis. Now that Armin has the power, he will likely get at least partial access to Bertolt's past memories, so we may find out even more about his motivations and his mysterious family. Unlike for Annie and Reiner, we haven't learned anything about Bertolt's family. He was adamant about getting home to the internment zone with Reiner, but when Reiner gets back, he never visits Bertolt's family, which you'd assume he would because they were such close friends. Wouldn't he want to let Bertolt's family know what happened and give his condolences since he's already there in the internment zone? We'll see. Maybe he will pay Bertolt's family a visit in the next manga chapter, but it's strange that we get no information about his parents or any family at all. Let me know what you guys think about this. Now let's get into the Colossal Titan's abilities. Obviously he has regenerative abilities like the other Titans, but we haven't seen him use selective regeneration like Annie or regeneration withdrawal like Reiner. It's also possible that he knew how to use these abilities but just never needed to use them. We can't be sure. It does seem like he needs more time between transformations than the other Titans though, because of how much energy he consumes in his massive Titan form. He is physically the strongest Titan shown so far in the manga. Only the Armored Titan and the Colossal Titan have shown themselves capable of taking down the gates of the walls, and all it took was a kick from the Colossal Titan, while the Armored Titan had to tackle the inner gate after a running start. The Colossal Titan's strike alone creates a shockwave that can send people flying backward. His steam generation is also noteworthy. Other Titans, like the Armored Titan, have released steam as well, but only the Colossal Titan releases enough to use it as an offensive and defensive weapon. The Colossal Titan is far too slow to stop quick and agile Survey Corps members from reaching his nape, but he makes up for this with this ability, which allows him to release extremely hot and pressurized steam from his massive body. His giant body actually burns away while he's using this ability, which is why he gets noticeably skinnier, and the cables shot from vertical maneuvering gear do not stick to his skin. They must be stuck to his teeth in order to stick, as Armin demonstrated. Armin also figured out that while the Colossal Titan is using this pressurized steam generation ability, he has to remain still. And then there's his nuclear bomb-esque ability, which allows him to create devastating explosions that are followed by mushroom clouds. Bertolt could control whether or not an explosion accompanied his transformation or not. For instance, at Trost in 850, his transformation did not cause an explosion, while in the final battle of Shiganshina, it did. This explosion has immense destructive power and will destroy anything or anyone in the vicinity. It was this explosive ability that allowed him to immobilize Eren's Titan form when he was beating Reiner. It is important to note that the Armored Titan seems to be unaffected by these explosions, which means that the Colossal and Armored Titan complement each other quite nicely. Finally, there is his instant form dissipation. Unlike the other Titans, Bertolt's Colossal Titan body can disappear completely in mere seconds. It does not leave a shell of its Titan body that evaporates at a slower pace, as we've seen with Eren's Titan many times. And there we have it, guys, Bertolt and the Colossal Titan explained. I am curious to see whether or not Armin develops any new abilities. I'll definitely make a video on that when we get more information from the manga. There are theories that Armin is of royal blood. For instance, the mystery surrounding his parents, the fact that his grandfather had a book of the outside world, and the fact that he can pass off as a Historia body double all lends credence to this theory. If that does turn out to be the case, as with Zeke, Armin may have greatly enhanced power compared to previous Colossal Titan possessors like Bertolt. I'm not sure, but I look forward to finding out more. Do you guys think that Armin is going to make an awesome Colossal Titan? Let me know. Anyways guys, thanks so much for sticking with me the whole way through. That was quite a long video. If you want to show your support and that you got this far, type in Historia body double in the description. If you liked this video, don't forget to Colossal smash that like button and subscribe for more Attack on Titan videos. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.